Welcome to the fourth quarter. I'm in Schoology here. I got a couple tabs open. That's the way I like to roll. Just want to show you a couple things and then get you started on your first assignment this week, which is watching a video and answering some questions. There's something that you don't see just yet right here, but this video that I'm creating, this guide video for this first assignment for the backwards brain bicycle questions will appear right here after last week's news quiz, which you can see as a due date as well. In the media literacy folder right here, you can see that there are a couple of resources, and I imagine this folder will continue to gather resources that we need throughout the unit. But let's take a look at the unit. It's called the Cognitive Bias, Social Media Literacy and Fake News Unit. This document, which is ridiculously long, it's 70 pages. You can access it without having to access the internet all the time just by clicking on this button down here. On the computer, it'll download it. On a tablet, on a Chromebook, it'll download it, and you can keep it in a place where you can access it so you don't have to access the internet every time you want to do some journalism work. Here it is. I'm going to open it in a new tab. Might take a minute. There we go. As you can see, it's quite long. It's divided into two sections. Section 1 is about the brain, how the brain works in terms of the way it influences decisions, how decisions are influenced kind of for us in a way as well. It culminates in a piece of writing here on page 21, an informational essay on what's known as cognitive bias, brain bias, essentially. And then the second part of the unit, which I don't need to talk about it right now, but it specifically focuses on media literacy, social media literacy as well, and fake news. The first assignment today is going to ask you to think a little bit about, a bike. I'm just going to zoom in a touch. On page 2, number 1, it asks you, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate your understanding of how to ride a bike. Yeah, I'm not great on wheels, but even I would be up in this 9 to 10 range in my understanding of how to ride a bike. I can't do an endo. I'm not really good at wheelies or ollies, but my understanding of it, exists in this higher range. If I were to be asked to draw a diagram that explains how a bicycle works, maybe because of my drawing skills, this would be considerably more difficult. But it's part of the way the brain works. You understand how to ride a bike. You might not be able to explain how it works, especially in a diagram. After you've drawn your diagram, or pretended to draw a diagram, or thought about it for a moment, if you were to rate your understanding how to ride a bike, it probably wouldn't change. You'd still be like, yeah, I understand how to ride a bike. I can't draw a diagram explaining it, or explain it in general, which is probably why your rating won't change a whole lot. It might be different, however, after you watch the following video, which is entitled The Backwards Brain Bicycle. It's here on YouTube. It's going to open up in a new tab, I would imagine. Yep.
Hey, it's me, Destin. Welcome back to Smarter Every Day. You've heard people say it's just like riding a bike, meaning it's really easy and you can't forget how to do it, right? But I did something that damaged my mind. It happened on the streets of Amsterdam, and I got really scared, honestly. I can't ride a bike like you can anymore. Before I show you the video of what happened, I need to tell you the backstory. Like many 6-year-olds with a MacGyver mullet, I learned how to ride a bike when I was really young. I had learned a life skill, and I was really proud of it. Everything changed, though, when my friend Barney called me 25 years later. Where I work, the welders are geniuses, and they like to play jokes on the engineers. He had a challenge for me. He had built a special bicycle, and he wanted me to try to ride it. He had only changed one thing. When you turn the handlebar to the left, the wheel goes to the right. When you turn it to the right, the wheel goes to the left. I thought this would be easy, so I hopped on the bike ready to demonstrate how quickly I could conquer this.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Justin Salem. First attempt riding the bicycle.
Well, you can see how it goes. The video goes on for another 7 minutes or so. Once you're done with watching the video, you're being asked to answer some questions from packet page 2. I'm going to open that again. Come on. Oh, packet page 3. 3 and 4, actually. There's 9 questions that go along with the video. In fact, you may want to take a look at the questions first so that you might be able to answer them as you watch the video, or you may end up watching the video twice just in order to answer the questions. Now, if you wanted to answer these questions in a separate Google document, for instance, you might be able to do that where you could answer them here. It'll make your life a little bit easier once you go to submit them in the, this is an air quote, quiz at the bottom of Schoology. So if you were to answer these questions for the backwards brain bicycle, you've started a new attempt. You get 2 attempts at this, and it's resumable, so you can save it before you submit it. You can see you could probably do the typing here if you wanted, or like I said before, you could do some of the work here as you answered the questions, here to here, or from here to here to here. I know it's not a perfect world. This is not a perfect world, but eventually your answers do need to go here, and then you can, let's see, can you save it? You can keep working on it and then submit them here. And that's the first assignment. It's due on Friday by 11:59 p.m. Don't wait that long though. If you have any questions, send me a message, and enjoy this. This first video is meant to be enjoyable. If you can imagine trying to turn a bicycle left by turning it right, that would really mess with you, with your brain. Good luck. Have fun.